Hi, my name is Jen and welcome to my YouTube channel. I have just read a book called Irreversible Damage by Abigail Shrier, and I thought that I would just hop on here on YouTube and make a short review. This is not going to be an in-depth review, but this is just going to be my initial thoughts. I would like to make more videos on this particular subject, maybe make longer form videos soon where I talk about the book and then additional information as well, go more in depth. Maybe one day I'll be able to sit down and have more interview styled videos on this subject. What I know is that I'm going to keep talking about this because it's very close to my heart, and the more I dig into it, the more disturbing information I find. This book is about the transgender craze that is spreading amongst our teenagers all over the Western world. In this book, she talks about a specific group. She talks about teenage girls who are opting out of becoming women. She makes the case that they are not just choosing to become boys, but they are specifically choosing to not become women. They are leaving womanhood, and no one is making the case that being a woman is that great today. The demographic for gender dysphoria used to be majority boys, but is now moved over to girls. And okay, the quality of this video just decreased immensely. I'm so sorry. My camera did not want to cooperate. It just records like 1.5 minutes and then it turns off. I don't know why it does that. It usually does that after 12 minutes, but now it's gone down to 1 minute and 20 seconds. So don't know what to do. I'll promise you I'm trying to fix this. But yeah, so this book, back to the topic. There has been an increase in the total population seeking gender reassignment of 4,000%. That is huge and disturbing. That's astonishing. It's spreading amongst teenage girls, just like the previous self-harm epidemics of cutting and of anorexia. There's been a direct relationship shown between increased time spent on social media and the seemingly sudden urge to become transgender. The author Abigail Shrier compares this transgender epidemic with the #ProAnna and #ProMia occurrence that initiated on Tumblr. That was a hashtag and a community which was dedicated to encouraging anorexia, bulimia, and other eating disorders. You might have heard of it, but let me just recap. That community would be filled with pictures of sickly, thin girls and tips on how to starve yourself. You would get tips and tricks on how to hide from your parents that you weren't eating, and you would get tips and tricks on how to starve yourself and how to fool yourself into thinking that you were full, although you hadn't eaten all day. The goal was to be sick. The goal was to be sickly thin. The girls in those communities actually looked up to those girls who had been so sick that they had to be hospitalized. Being skinny was described as being in control, and not eating was seen as being determined to your goal and being good, basically. There was a strong us versus them mentality in these communities as well. These girls would tell you that you couldn't tell anyone about this because they just wouldn't understand. And if you told anyone, they would force you to eat. And that's the last thing that you would want. Abigail Shrier now says that similar communities have started amongst trans kids online, and this time it's also on Tumblr. You will get tips on how to make your trans story as believable as possible. You will get told how to order binders and what company will send them in discreet packaging so that your parents won't find out, and also what clinic you can go to which will distribute testosterone to minors. There are famous trans YouTubers and social media stars with large followings who encourage teenagers to be their true self. Transgender. They are made to believe that their parents just don't understand them and that their family, their real family, is their rainbow family online. A lot of these girls are lonely and they just want to fit in, which is something that they will find in these communities. When they come out on social media, they are often met with large-scale praise. They are showered with praise and congratulations, and they get given huge followings and they will be part of this big community, it is easy to get recommended videos from trans YouTubers. And if you are a young girl wondering if you are trans, you can just ask YouTube. And one big trans YouTuber will tell you if you are asking yourself if you're trans, then you probably are. Just like with anorexia nervosa, gender dysphoria seems to be spreading between friends as well. With anorexia, it is very likely that if one friend has it, then it will spread to the next. You have to be very careful with gender disorder clinics that to make sure that they just don't turn into hotspots for tips and tricks, where these girls just get sicker. When having public awareness for the disorder, it is a very high risk that it will just introduce itself into the young girls' conscious as a possible route to go. Documentaries on the disorder too often turn into how-to guides. It seems to be the same with the trans identity. The author of this book makes that case very well. And so what do the schools do? So the chapter on the schools and the chapter on the doctors are the most disturbing in this book. The school's curriculum has made it possible for kids to opt out of sexual education at the will of the parents, but have made it impossible to opt out of anything that has to do with sexual identity or gender identity, or sexual orientation or sexual orientation or gender identity. Kindergartners are shown the genderbread person and are introduced to gender stereotypes and gender non-conforming. They are told what that is. So you might go into school being a boy that likes to sing or being a girl that likes sports and go out of that school thinking that you are a gender non-conforming person. And the idea of transgenderism is introduced very, very early. In January 2020, a plan has been implemented. I think it was in California, but it's a lot of schools are taking after California. Has been implemented that makes it so that teenagers don't even have to step out of school grounds to get handed testosterone. They can just get their hormones on school grounds. If your child decides that they want to change gender, they can tell the teacher, who will just start using their new pronoun and their new name without telling the parents. Because, and I don't know if it was a principal or what it was, but it was a quote in the book where one person in charge of these schools said that, well, it's none of the parents' business what name their child wants to be called. One parent tells a story of their girl being allowed to sleep in the boys' bunk on a school trip without informing the parents, which is gross. That's disgusting. And the parents are told that it's none of their business once their child enters public school. And private school seems to be no different, where one parent tells a story of how their child had 4 transgender speakers in the course of a year. And then there's the doctors, who are just going along with it and handing out testosterone left and right, and hormone blockers to kids who are unsure, which is insane. And they are saying, well, hormone blockers, just what if, like, so that the girl can decide for themselves. But it's like, it's meant to stop puberty. And like, if you stop puberty for a girl, and she's not like the other girls, and she's not getting her boobs, she's not getting her period, she's not getting her sexual awakening like her peers, then of course she will feel even less like that peer group. It's not, and it's like 100%, she says this statistic, 100% of those who go on hormone blockers go on to take testosterone and hormones. It's insane. And let me remind you that these girls are coached online on exactly how to frame their story so that they will be granted testosterone. And add on to this that these parents are told that their children, oh my god. And also, the parents are told by the doctors that their child will commit suicide if they don't get to go on hormone blockers, or if they don't get to take testosterone or go on with gender reassignment. Tell me any other predicament where parents are told that their children will commit suicide. And it's they are told that, wouldn't you rather have a living boy than a dead girl? It's not your fault. If you are watching this and you have a child who is going through this, it's not your fault. And your doctor cannot tell you that your children will die if they don't have this non-essential surgery or this non-essential treatment. It's insane. I am in complete amazement after listening to this book, and there's a lot more I can say. Like you see, like this, I just wanted to make like a 5-minute video, but it's kind of impossible. There's so much to talk about, but I just wanted to bring you this short video and tell you, please read this book. Please listen to it. Please. Like, it's so important. And especially if you are a parent to a young girl. Oh my God. And so in the afterword of this book, or not in the afterword, but in the final chapter of this book, she says that just don't allow your girls to be on social media. Please. It's very likely that social media is the reason for a lot of this. And just have your girls be out in the real world. Give them goals to work towards. Give them something to do. Let them know that they are beautiful just the way they are. And give them real life things to work for, so that they don't turn to their gender identity or don't have to involve themselves in these communities, which are completely harmful. These girls are going on hormone blockers and going on hormones, which makes them infertile when they are way too young to make that decision. And the doctors are not stopping them. Schools are encouraging them, and parents are not allowed to do anything. The parents are told that they are the bullies, because the school curriculum makes it so that this is just an anti-bullying. But instead of just teaching the children how to be kind to one another, no matter what identity, they are being taught, they are being indoctrinated into this gender theory. It's highly suggestive. And it brings these kids onto this path of thinking that they're the other gender, or thinking that, I don't know. I am terrible at concluding my videos. I am terrible at making outros, but thank you so much for watching this video. What I wanted to say here in the end is that this is screwed up, and I am going to make a lot more videos on this topic, because as I said in the beginning, the more I dig into it, the more crazy things I find. Thank you for watching this video. I have started a Swedish YouTube channel if you are a Swedish follower. I have 3 videos on there now. I have one is an interview with a vegan company that was cancelled, and one is a video about the Swedish feminist Clara Henry and J.K. Rowling and all of that jazz. So go over there and subscribe if you are a Swedish speaker, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Thank you so much for watching my video. If you like this video, be sure to leave a like. Comment down below on what you want me to talk about next, and maybe subscribe to my channel to see more. I'd like to say a big extra thank you to everyone who chooses to donate to this channel, and also to my lovely Patreons who are Yup, T. Smith, Mark Schwartzberg, John Patrick, Michael Adelius, Craig Nickerson, Jim Hicks, Daniel Yu, Grammar P. Mills, Andreas Bringare, Jocke Hellgren, Capt. Ake Larson, Helmut Bio, Robert T. O'Gara, Chuck Schaefer, Aiden Finn, Oskar Sandström, Sonja Aldriksson, Crowley357, Brennan Bauer, Tobias Schumacher, Even Akarius, Adrian Betts, Gabriel Tika, ASDF, Are Hågensson, Vyacheslav, Eric Bishops, Tim Bennett, Tony Patak, Liam McCarthy, Patriarken, Benjamin Dolby, Kasper Öberg, Proud Boy, Steve Olmoon, John Shiresna, Scott Allen, Benedict Block, Ivan Andrada Mendoza, Don Lindberg, Jessica Weiner, Villa Narni. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next one.